You're going to love this, so my cousin and I came up with this crazy bet. Here's the backstory. We are best friends. Born the same year but different months, obviously. Our eating habits have not been giving, so the bet was to start our weight loss journey. Clock it. We both are 21. My cousin is 61 kilograms, and I am 61.4 kilograms. We stumbled upon this weight loss plan and thought, why don't we jump into this challenge? The plan was to take the challenge with a fun twist. Each of us was to do their challenge in their own way. Being the baddie that I am, I had to take the hard route. This video is going to give you a rundown of how we did. Here's a mistake almost everyone makes when they're trying to lose weight. They think eating way less will get them faster results. My cousin went all in on this idea. She skipped meals, banned all carbs, tried every fat-burning pill, and exercised like she was getting paid for it. What happened? She was tired, moody, and hungry all the time, but her weight stayed exactly the same. I took a different approach. Instead of starving myself, I aimed for a smart calorie deficit, about 500 to 750 calories less than I normally ate. That's just a 20 to 25% cut, which is enough for steady fat loss without feeling like you're suffering. No crash diets, no cutting out entire food groups. Here's how it worked. I focused on smaller portions, cooking at home, and skipping the extra snacks I didn't really need. I also used simple tools like intermittent fasting, basically just delaying breakfast or avoiding late-night munching, which made staying in a deficit much easier. And yes, I still enjoyed my favorite foods. I just ate them in moderation. Trust me, when you let yourself have a slice of pizza or a little dessert, you're way less likely to go overboard later. So here's the takeaway. When you starve yourself, your body holds onto fat and your mood tanks. When you eat smarter, not less, you burn fat, keep your energy, and actually enjoy the process. Here's the sneaky part about weight loss. The longer you diet, the harder it gets. At first, the scale moves fast, but then it just stops. My cousin thought it was because she messed up, but really, her body was just adapting. When you stay in a calorie deficit too long, your body gets clever. It burns fewer calories because you weigh less. It even starts breaking down muscle along with fat, which slows your metabolism even more. And hormones? Oh, they turn against you. Hunger hormones shoot up, fullness hormones drop, and suddenly you're hungry all the time. That's why diets stall. Your body doesn't want to keep losing. My cousin, she kept pushing harder, eating less, running more, and just felt tired and cranky. I teased her, "You're not stuck. Your body's just saving itself from extinction." What actually worked for me was the opposite. I focused on eating enough protein to keep muscle, about 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight, strength training 3 to 4 times a week, and adding refeeds. Yep, 1 or 2 days a week I'd eat more, usually higher carbs. Sometimes I even took a diet break for a week or two at maintenance calories. Instead of ruining progress, it helped reset my hormones, gave me a mental break, and kept the fat loss moving. Moral of the story: sometimes, eating more and training smarter beats starving yourself. The big secret no one tells you: muscles aren't just for looking toned in selfies, they're fat-burning engines. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn just sitting on the couch scrolling your phone. That's right, your body turns into a calorie furnace even when you're binge-watching Netflix. My cousin used to think the answer was hours of cardio. She ran, sweated, and complained daily. But her body didn't change much. I laughed and told her, "You're basically a hamster on a wheel, working hard, but not going anywhere." I tried a different approach, lifting weights 3 to 4 times a week. Nothing crazy, just consistent strength training. Over time, I noticed my body wasn't just getting stronger, it was burning more fat even on my rest days. It felt like I'd hacked the system. But here's the catch. To build muscle, you've got to feed it. That means protein with every meal. Think eggs, chicken, fish, or beans if you're plant-based. Add fiber-rich foods too. They keep you full, steady your energy, and help with recovery. Once I combined strength training with protein and fiber, my progress didn't just speed up, it stuck. My cousin, on the other hand, eventually ditched the hamster wheel and joined me in the weight room. Now she jokes, "Why didn't you tell me sooner that lifting makes you burn fat while you nap?" When I first told my cousin she could eat more to lose fat, she looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "Wait, you're saying I should add food back after working so hard to cut it out?" Yep, that's exactly what reverse dieting is. Here's how it works. When you've been in a calorie deficit for a while, your body slows down, burning fewer calories, breaking down muscle, and leaving you hungrier than ever. It's like your body thinks it's on survival mode. To fix that, you start adding calories back gradually. Think 200 to 300 calories a day, not an all-you-can-eat buffet. At first, yes, you might see a tiny bit of water weight. My cousin panicked when the scale ticked up 2 pounds. I told her, "Relax, that's just your body holding on to some extra water, not fat." Sure enough, within weeks she had more energy, felt stronger in the gym, and the fat loss started again, this time without the constant hunger. The key is patience. Reverse dieting isn't a magic overnight trick, but when paired with strength training and steady protein intake, it resets your metabolism and makes long-term fat loss sustainable. Now, instead of fearing food, my cousin laughs and says, "So, I had to eat more to finally lose weight?" That feels like the best scam I've ever joined. Everyone thinks losing weight is all about eating less and moving more, but here's the truth. If you don't sleep well, your body can undo everything you worked for. Studies show that just 2 weeks of poor sleep can raise fat storage risk by nearly 30%. Yep, 30%, just because you stayed up scrolling past midnight. When we both committed to better sleep, the difference was wild. She set a routine. Lights out at 10 p.m., up at 6 a.m., solid 8 hours. No more, just one more episode nights. Within days, her cravings calmed down, her workouts felt stronger, and she stopped feeling like a zombie every morning. There are little tricks too. Cut caffeine after 4 p.m. Yes, that innocent evening latte was wrecking her sleep. Keep rest days in the plan, not because you're lazy, but because that's when your muscles repair and grow. Without recovery, your body feels stuck in survival mode, holding on to fat. The funny part? Once she started sleeping better, she said, "Wait, so the real secret wasn't another workout, it was just going to bed on time?" Exactly. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's when your body burns fat, rebuilds muscle, and resets hormones. So if you want to speed up fat loss, don't just look at your plate or the gym. Check your pillow too. In every weight loss journey, you might think having cravings means you have no willpower, but cravings aren't about weakness. They're about what your body is or isn't getting. Here's a simple trick that saved us both. Drink a glass of water before meals. It sounds boring, right? But it's magic. Most of the time, you're not actually hungry, you're just thirsty. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar in the morning, and studies show cravings can drop by almost 30%. Let's do a quick reality check. 1 donut, 300 calories. You're hungry again in 30 minutes. A protein-packed salad, same 300 calories, but you're full for 4 hours. See the difference? Cravings aren't about calories, they're about what you eat. For my cousin, the game changer was cooking at home. When she swapped takeout for simple, whole meals, her cravings didn't just shrink, they practically disappeared. Plus, she stopped that cycle of eat junk, feel guilty, repeat. The funny part, she used to joke, "I don't have a sweet tooth, I have a sweet mouth." Now she doesn't even want the stuff she once couldn't resist. The secret isn't fighting cravings with willpower, it's outsmarting them. Once you learn that, your food stops controlling you. You control it. Here's the funny thing about fat loss. Most people think you need to sweat buckets in the gym for hours, but what if the biggest game changer isn't an intense workout? It's just walking. After meals, a 10 to 15-minute stroll does way more than people realize. It helps your body process food, keeps blood sugar steady, and even quiets those snack cravings that usually hit late at night. It's almost like pressing a hidden reset button for your metabolism. And when you stack 2 to 4 of these short walks a day, the results add up fast. Add in a couple of longer walks each week, the kind where you're laughing with a friend or lost in a podcast, and you've just boosted your calorie burn without even thinking about it. The secret? Save the high-intensity stuff for strength training. That's where you build muscle, your real fat-burning engine. Cardio has its place, but it shouldn't leave you drained or dreading the next workout. Turns out the most powerful tool for fat loss isn't torture on a treadmill. It's simply putting one foot in front of the other, every day. Ever notice how the strictest diets always end the same way? One cheat turns into a weekend binge, and suddenly, you're right back where you started. That's because all or nothing rarely works. The sweet spot is in between. Allowing yourself a couple of days each week to enjoy your favorite foods, guilt-free, keeps cravings from taking over. When you know pizza night or dessert is coming, it's easier to stick to lean proteins and whole foods the rest of the week without feeling deprived. The key is balance. Discipline means keeping your daily habits steady, strength training, solid nutrition, daily movement. Flexibility means giving yourself space to live like a human, not a robot. Together, they make your plan sustainable, not a ticking time bomb. Think of it like walking a tightrope. Lean too far into restriction, you fall into burnout. Lean too far into indulgence, you fall into stagnation, but keep your footing in the middle, and suddenly this diet becomes a lifestyle you can actually enjoy long-term. At the end of the day, fat loss isn't about chasing some magic hack. It's about stacking small, doable habits. Start slow because rushing only backfires. Eat just a little less and move a little more, and suddenly things shift. Keep your portions in check. Maybe even use intermittent fasting if it fits your lifestyle, and don't be afraid of throwing in a refeed or diet break when your metabolism starts stalling. It's like hitting the refresh button. Walking after meals might seem too simple, but it helps more than you'd think. Digestion, blood sugar, even snacking urges all calm down. Pair that with strength training a few times a week, and your muscles become mini fat-burning engines working for you 24/7. And don't sleep on sleep. 8 hours can change everything. While that 5 p.m. coffee habit might be sneaking behind your back and slowing progress. Water before meals, easy win. Cooking at home most of the time, that's where consistency lives. And yes, keep space for pizza night or dessert. That's what makes this a lifestyle, not a prison sentence. The real secret is that there isn't one. It's all these little things working together. And when you stay at it, your body has no choice but to follow along. After 12 weeks of starting the same time with the same goal, lose fat, feel better, and finally stick to a plan that worked. But we couldn't have chosen more different paths. She jumped straight into crash dieting, cutting everything fun out of her meals and punishing herself with endless cardio. I took a slower route, strength training a few times a week, walking after meals, sleeping properly, drinking water before I ate, and yes, still enjoying a slice of cake when I felt like it. Fast forward 12 weeks, and the difference was night and day. She was burned out, frustrated, and stuck on a plateau. Meanwhile, I was 10 kilos lighter, had more energy than ever, and didn't feel like I was dieting at all. And the crazy part, I wasn't working harder. I was just working smarter. Crash diets forced her body to slam the brakes, while my approach taught my metabolism to speed up and keep burning. What I learned is simple. The slow, steady, consistent habits always win. Eat a little smarter, move a little more, rest well, and leave room for flexibility. It sounds boring, but when the results sneak up on you, it feels anything but boring. So yeah, 12 weeks later, I had proof that the long game isn't just easier, it's the only game worth playing. And the best part? This is just the beginning.